Welcome. So I thought I would bring you some yin with a sling for those of you that have a yoga trapeze at home. You will need just the sling and you'll need long daisy chains or your long ropes. As you can see, I'm very, very low to the ground here. So you'll need to bring your sling all the way down. And as I said, you don't need your handles for this. You might want maybe a bolster, maybe a couple of blocks, but they're not essential. So just take a seat in your sling. Get yourself nice and comfortable, maybe butterfly position with the feet. Rest the hands on the knees, or just rest them in your lap. Close the eyes, take a couple of breaths. Relaxing through the shoulders and becoming present in the moment, getting ready for your practice. So we'll start with a forward fold. So we're going to do a little bit into the spine today. So sitting in your sling, and you can adjust this depending on yourself. So obviously the more you kind of push yourself back, the more of an angle, you get on your sling. And you can also put a bolster underneath your knees here if you want to. In fact, that feels quite good. So a bolster underneath your knees. And then we're going to relax forward into a forward fold. And we're going to stay here for 5 minutes. So if you want to as well, you could have a block maybe underneath your head, or 2 blocks to rest your head on. Just propping them up on your shins. Or you could place the blocks underneath your knees. And use your bolster here. So wherever you are, go to the point where you first feel a stretch. No sharpness, no pain. And bring the awareness then to the breath. It's a nice, slow, deep breath. Feel into the body, notice what you're feeling. Make sure you're not holding any tension anywhere, so just scanning the body every now and then. Just noticing if you're clenching the jaw or you're hunching the shoulders up. Remember, you can always count the breath. Inhaling for 1, exhaling for 2. Adjust your props as you need to. And listening to the body. So going to the point that feels good for your body today. So we've 2 more minutes here. So 1 more minute. Feeling into the body, adjusting as you need to, looking for that edge. No sharpness, no pain, just a nice, deep, satisfying stretch. Okay, so slowly coming up. And just bring a bit of movement. You can have a little swing in your sling, just bending the knees. Just waiting for that stretch, that energy to subside, the chi energy rushing into the body. And from here, we're going to do a side stretch. So working predominantly on the spine. So you're going to turn to face the side of your sling. And you're going to twist yourself around and bring your left leg over. Or it doesn't actually matter, whichever leg is suitable for you to bring over, so that you're straddling your sling. And you're going to keep your left leg tucked into the groin. You're going to stretch your right leg out. So from here, you could put a bolster underneath that right knee, or a block. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to lean over to that right leg. So you can hold onto your sling with your left hand and bring your right hand wherever is comfortable for you. So if you have a bolster underneath, you may be able to rest your elbow on the bolster there. So we're aiming to get a stretch into the left side of the body. So see what feels good for you. You maybe could rest your head on your bolster. It's actually really quite comfortable. And take your left hand behind you. You could take the sole of that left foot flat as well. So again, our aim is to get that stretch into the left side of the body. And we're going to spend 5 minutes here, so make sure you're nice and comfortable. And remember to go to the point that feels like a good stretch for you. No sharpness and no pain.
so that you're getting, once again, that stretch into the left side of the body. If you feel anything going on with the lower back, put that bend in that right knee. So we've 4 minutes left here. So adjusting the whole time, feeling into what feels good for you. So remember, no sharpness, no pain. Getting that stretch into the left side of the body, maybe into the left hip, left ribs. So again, going with what feels good for you. So I'm just playing around here with props, giving you little ideas as we go along. But if you find a way that's really comfortable for you, then stick to it. So 2 more minutes here. One more minute. So as I'm going, I'm just feeling into different areas with the left side of my body. So when I'm more upright, I'm kind of getting up higher here. And as I go down, I'm getting lower down towards the base of my spine. So just feeling into what feels like a good stretch for you today, where you feel you need to stretch. Okay, and then slowly making your way up. Your props over to your other side. Give the legs a little bit of a stretch, have a little bit of movement, maybe a little twist here. So again, whatever feels good. And we'll go for the other side. So bring your right leg in, left leg out. So again, see what works for you. Maybe the bolster underneath the knee again to begin with. And we're going to spend 5 minutes then on this side. So propping once again to whatever feels good for this side. So actually that's quite good there for the moment. And then adjust as you need to. So option to have that right foot flat. Whoops. Right foot flat for a while. If that feels good. So again, feeling into this side of the body, figure out where the stretch is needed on your right side of your body. And if you find a good place and you want to stay there, stay there. So say I'm just exaggerating a little bit with moving stuff around just to give you ideas. So 2 more minutes here. So you'll find the more you have that right arm back, the more you'll feel maybe up here into the chest, into the higher part of the ribs on the right side, and the more you have your arm up and over, you'll get more lower down. For the majority of people, everyone is different. So just figuring out what feels good for you today. So we've 1 more minute here. So slowly pulling yourself back up. The legs are stretched. Okay, so we'll make our way out now. So push the sling away from you. Swing your leg over. Come down onto your hands and knees with the sling in front of you. So we're going to do our Sphinx or seal pose. Let's bring the props in front in case we need them. Maybe not so much for this one. Okay. So your arms are coming through. And you're just going to have your sling across your chest. So adjust it as you need to get it comfortable. Just made my speaker there. Okay. So see what works. You might want it all the way down to your tummy, or that might feel uncomfortable. You might want it just over your chest. So you can stay here, Sphinx pose. Here, palms together. You can come up higher. You could use a couple of blocks if you wanted to. Here. Just make sure your pelvis is grounded. So if it is lifted up at all, maybe put a cushion or something underneath it so that you can completely relax that pelvis down. Because if you're tensing up at all, if it's lifted, you're going to feel that in the lower back. And you can work your way up to your Sphinx pose from here. And the angle then, if you bring yourself forward a little more, you'll be a little higher. Have the feet a comfortable distance apart. So wider tends to feel a little better on the back. Allows you to ground the pelvis a little bit more. So have them a little wider if you are feeling like the back is a little sore today. And of course, if there is any pain, then don't do this at all. So you could just lie on the floor, one arm on top of the other, and just rest the forehead for this one, if the back is not allowing you to do a back bend today. So always listening to where you are at on each day you practice. Even if you did this video last week, yesterday, and you're able to go a little bit deeper, but today it's just not having it, then listen and don't do it. And our bodies are great at telling us when something isn't right, and the worst thing we can do is just ignore that, because that's when injuries happen. So we've 3 more minutes here. So I'm just angling myself up just a little bit more. And if you really felt comfortable in this, you could float your legs up, as long as your pelvis stays grounded. Obviously this is deeper again. You'll feel quite a lot maybe in the quads, in the glutes. So only if the body is allowing this, then go ahead with this one. So we've 2 more minutes here.
One more minute. Okay, so slowly bring your legs back together, hands on the floor, push yourself up, come into tabletop, and then maybe sitting back onto the heels. See how you feel. You can use your sling here and just stretch it out. So sometimes with my back, there's a little bit of resistance once I come out of a back bend, so it can take my back a little while just to lengthen back out again. So making sure you honor that once again and not jumping into the next move, just giving the body time to adjust, to relax, for that energy to rush into the body. And then when you feel okay again, when you feel like that big rush of energy has subsided, we'll move on. And if you need a little bit more time in between any of these, just pause the video and take your time. So for this next one, I'm going to turn myself around so that you can see. Actually, we're going sideways. Okay, so we're going to twist. So you're going to bring your left leg into the sling and just bunch up the sling there, take it into your groin, and then turn yourself around so that you're making like a little sling for your leg. And then your right leg, you can either keep your right leg straight or take it behind you and take hold. Hopefully you can see. You can see there. You can take hold of your foot with your left hand, only if that left shoulder stays grounded. So work your way up to that. So start off with the straight. I'm going to move my leg out the way so you can see straight right leg. And then work to maybe bending it behind you, leaning more into it. Again, grounding down that left shoulder and then maybe taking hold of that right foot. And if you wanted to work into that, you could use a strap over your right foot and just take hold of it that way. If you wanted to work into that a little bit more. So we're twisting over towards the right, grounding down our left shoulder, still getting quite a lot of opening here into the ribs. And deepening the breath. Now, if any time you feel like you need your sling a little higher, if you've your daisy chains, you can move your sling a little higher.
Cover a bit more of your leg and bend it over. So figuring out once again what feels good for you today. So noticing what you're feeling, noticing where you're feeling it. Make little adjustments if you need to get to that optimum stretch. But no sharpness, no pain. So we've 2 more minutes here. One more minute. Okay, so slowly releasing out of that. Maybe bringing both legs in for a moment, lifting your buttocks up, putting the sling underneath you, and then bringing your legs up and wrapping. And just have a little twist from side to side, and then we'll go for the other side. So take the legs back out. Lift the buttocks so feet fully planted on the floor. We're Right leg in this time. Take it up, sling up to the groin. Turn yourself. Straighten that left leg. Right arm on the ground. See what works for you on this side. And then option to bend that foot up and take hold with your right hand. Again, so seeing if the whole leg feels better, creating like a sling here, or whether just a small amount just to prop that thigh up. So again, seeing what feels good on this side. Main thing is to keep that right shoulder grounded. And relaxing the whole body. Nice, slow, deep breaths. So if you were using your strap here, you'd have your loop over your ball of your foot. And you'd be holding it here if you were working on this. Or you're having your straight leg here. So we've 2 more minutes here. So don't be surprised if the belly starts to rumble. Twists stimulate the digestive system. So always at the end of a yin practice, I always feel hungry. I always hear a lot of bellies rumbling in class. So just 1 more minute here. Okay, so coming back to the center. Maybe putting both legs in again. Lift the pelvis up. Tuck the sling underneath you, support yourself. And then maybe just stretch the legs up again. Hook them around. Give yourself a little twist. And then when you're ready to come up, pull yourself up with your sling. And again, we'll sit sideways. And we'll bring one leg over. And we'll come into a cross-legged or lotus position. Lengthen up through the spine. Rest the hands on the thighs. Take a few deep breaths. And if you wanted to, you could complete a meditation practice here. But if you're ready to close, hands to prayer at the chest. And honor yourself, thank yourself for giving yourself this time to practice today. Namaste. Thank you.